Welcome back. Hair loss affects millions of men and women all across the country, and often it comes with side effects, including the loss of confidence and self-esteem.
Luckily, though, there's some options for hair restoration, and those options are greater than ever now. Here to talk about some of the myths of hair loss and the latest advancements. Plastic surgeon and hair loss specialist, Dr. Michael Wolfeld. Dr. Wolfeld, thanks for being with us.
Hi, Doc. Good
morning.
Let's start with this first myth, because this one actually took me by surprise. I had always heard that male baldness comes from your mother's side.
Right, it's like look at your mother's father.
Yeah, not true.
Yeah, so that's not true at all. Actually, hair loss comes from both sides of the family, so you really have to look at your mother and your father's side of the family to see where you stand.
Very cool. Let's just slide down and get right now to this next. I wear a hat every day of my life, a baseball hat, that is. I wonder if a lot of people think that hats can cause baldness. True or false?
Right, so that's false also. That's been around for a long time. Hats do not cause baldness. If you wore a hat very tight over a long period of time, it may cause a little bit of loss, but really that's false. Hats do not cause baldness.
All right, and last but not least here, the third myth, that you can be too old for hair restoration. Also not true?
That's also not true. So I look at each individual patient, their health status, their past medical history, their expectations, and see if they are a good candidate for a hair restoration procedure. And it's really each individual patient.
Before we get to the products and then, of course, the big $500 million machine over there, is there a cure for hair loss for men and women?
There's no direct cure for hair loss, but there are medications and treatments that can help to reduce hair loss and help to thicken your hair. And there are treatments such as a hair transplant that can give you a permanent hair restoration.
All right, let's look at some of these. We'll start with some of these over-the-counter products here.
Sure.
Rogaine I've heard of.
Yes, so Rogaine, which has been around for many years, it's over-the-counter, it's indicated for men and women, and it can help to thicken your hair.
At what point should someone start to use one of these products?
When you're starting to notice hair loss, it's better to start early. That's where you'll get the most benefits.
What about just shaving your head? You see that a lot. People start to thin out and they just sort of, is that kind of just throwing in the towel?
Well, sometimes people shave their head when they don't need to. There are options available, such as medications or hair transplant procedures. So I would come see a specialist first before you go that route.
What else we got down here?
So here you have a vitamin supplement. It's called Nutrafol. It's over-the-counter. It's all natural. There's over 20 ingredients. There's antioxidants, anti-inflammatories, stress modulators, and that can help to decrease hair loss and thicken your hair as well. And you have a shampoo, which is called Nizoral shampoo, which is also over-the-counter. There's a main ingredient called ketoconazole, which can help to decrease inflammation and can also help to thicken your hair.
All right, so you try the over-the-counter stuff. It's not working. You start to think about maybe getting some treatments. What are a few things you should be thinking about before you get into the treatment world?
So, well, before you get into the treatments, it's best to go see a specialist to see what may be available. There are also prescription medications that can also help. If you're using them and you're still not completely satisfied, then maybe a hair restoration.
But if I'm in my late 20s and I come to you with thinning hair right here and you're a hair specialist, what are you looking for? What makes me a candidate for treatment?
If you have good donor hair, so we take the permanent hair in the back and the sides of the scalp. That's the hair we take and transplant to the balding areas.
You donate it to yourself in other areas.
You basically donate to yourself.
Look at that salad, though.
Yeah.
He's not going to have any problems.
No, you're good. You're good.
It doesn't move.
Let's talk about this robot here.
Sure.
This is next level.
IX.
Sure. So this is a robotic hair transplant system, and within it there's built-in artificial intelligence. There's multiple high-definition cameras. It can actually select the best and the healthiest hair to remove from the back of the head to transplant to the balding areas. This machine can also make the little holes where the hair goes into. It can actually also implant the hair into those little holes.
Is this a prototype or is this an actual machine that's in use every day?
No, this is an actual machine. We're doing these procedures every day. It's really the newest innovation in hair restoration, and I think it's really changed the game.
Is this your machine?
These procedures. This is my machine.
How much did you pay for this machine?
A lot of money.
How expensive is the procedure?
The procedure, it depends on how much hair we're transplanting.
Ballpark from what to what?
Ballpark between $8,000 and $12,000, sometimes a little bit more.
Painful?
It looks, I was going to ask, it looks like a slow tattoo process.
Yeah.
Is this a painful procedure?
So what I tell patients is that you're going to have some, you're going to get some numbing medication at the beginning. That's a minimal discomfort, and then the procedure is painless. The patient is laying flat on this table. It's like a massage table.
Right.
So throughout the procedure, there's no discomfort at all.
Looks like this guy's got bigger problems, though, than hair loss.
Yeah, just being a head. Yeah. No,
Thank you, Dr. Wolfeld. That's fascinating.
Thank you, Doctor.
You're very welcome.